Hi, my name is Jim, and I want to welcome you to the Trek World community. I've been a Star Trek fan since the early 1970s, as have a lot of people. And there's a phrase that we used a lot in the 1970s that really encapsulated how we felt about our favorite series, as well as what our hopes were in the future. That phrase was Star Trek Lives. I think everybody that's watching this video right now, and by the way, welcome to the Trek World community, understands what that phrase means, but it actually means something to different groups of people. For people who are into the newer Star Treks, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all the way up through Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Lives definitely has a meaning to them, but it's actually a reaffirmation of what they've witnessed all their lives. For those of us who became Star Trek fans in the 60s and 70s, that phrase meant something completely different. We didn't know there was ever going to be anything beyond the animated series. In the late 1970s, went back and forth. We're going to make a movie, we're going to make a TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go back to the 1970s, the promised pilots that never got completed for every property in the world, pretty much would let you know how we reacted to that. And that was basically, prove it. Show me new Star Trek, and then I'll believe. But we had our hopes. So we went to conventions, and we went on cruises, and we traveled across the country in the hopes of finding somebody who knew somebody that was associated with Star Trek. In the mid-1970s, Gene Roddenberry even came to us by doing a series of lecture circuits around the United States. No one but us understands that feeling. No one but a Gen 1 Star Trek fan can explain to you what it's like to believe that your favorite series is gone. So whenever anything showed up, it didn't matter if it were a comic book, if it were a novel, if it were one of those old-fashioned story photographs we used to get, we bought it. And we read them from cover to cover, whether it be the James Blish books, the Alan E. Foster books, didn't matter. But Star Trek Lives was our prayer. Now, 50 years later, no one who wasn't there can understand what that felt like. And unfortunately, more and more of us are passing with every individual day. Not just the fans, but cast and crew as well. We've lost some good people, and there's not a whole lot of people left. One of the things that I noticed when I would go out on the internet was that there used to be websites that had all this wonderful information on it, and they're gone. Completely gone. The people died, and nobody paid the bill, so they get erased. Or they shut them down because they couldn't take care of it, or they shut them down because they just didn't want to maintain the maintenance. Everything that was on them is gone. Or is it? What I decided to do was go out and find as much information I could on the original Star Trek television series, Star Trek the animated series, the motion picture, and then yes, move all the way up the chain and find out everything I could find and put it in one place for everyone to see. And if I discovered some secrets along the way, I would share them with you. And I've done that in this channel. So if this is your first time visiting, please take a look at the video and the playlist sections. You are in for an exciting read. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to document what we had left of the interactions that we had at these conventions, or even if we ran across somebody in the grocery store. Fans have sent me photographs of them with cast and crew at conventions. I've received videos from the original Sea Trek cruises. I have autographed pictures, personal pictures of a time when if you went to a Star Trek convention, it was nothing like what they are now. And as I record this, the one in Las Vegas is happening right now. Now, the new conventions aren't bad. They are a business. They generate income. And because of that, they have the full support of CBS. In the old days with these fan conventions, not so much. People didn't get paid. Venues were canceled. Fire marshals would come in occasionally and chase everybody out of the hotel. There were all sorts of things. And those are the stories I want to save right here so that your children can come back and see what you experienced and what it was that lit that passion that told you Star Trek was more than a television series. So to complete this, I just want to say one more thing. Star Trek lives.